Good, blessed Thursday morning, everybody. Well, it may be afternoon by now. No, it's still morning here. Good morning to everybody. Hope you are sheltered in place and following the rules. All right, I had to get that in. Since we have a lot of time on our hands, if we're sheltered inside and we have cleaned our closets, we have cleaned our houses, we've basically done everything we could do, and now we're bored and trying to think of some things to do. I thought I would share with you some of my favorite seasonings that I like to cook with. All right, let's get started. These are some of my everyday seasonings that I like to use in all different recipes, whether it be breakfast foods, lunch, or dinner. Beef flavored bouillon, Memphis style barbecue seasoning. I got this from the 99-cent store, dollar store. New Orleans style seafood seasoning. I got this from the 99-cent store too. Very good product. Two of my favorites, Goya. The Goya Total Seasoning. This is actually my favorite. In the Goya Adobo, which many of you already use it already. These are very, very, very good products. Grill Mates Montreal Chicken Seasoning. It's very good if you don't want to use a heavy bouillon or if you don't want a heavy salty taste like the bouillon has. Montreal Chicken Seasoning has garlic, a little bit of everything in it. It's Grill Mates, so I gotta say, very good, delicious. Good old trusty bouillon. Makes everything taste homemade. Y'all excuse me if I get in the camera. I'm up in here cleaning and everything else. I'm looking busted right now. Don't judge. Don't judge. All right, let's see what else we got here. Accent. Yes, one of my favorites. Good old trusty garlic powder. Onion powder. Lime pepper. Get it at Fiesta stores or Walmart. Absolutely delicious. One of my favorites too. Roasted garlic and herb. Get it at Aldi's. Delicious on steaks, chicken, roasted vegetables. Delicious. Heavy garlic and herb flavoring. Wonderful. Tony Chacharenas. I don't use this one a whole lot because the sodium content is high. But oh yeah, if I'm making a good old gumbo or some type of seasoned shrimp, that's my go-to. My African jollof rice seasoning. This is one of my all-time favorites. I like to make my version of the African jollof rice, but this seasoning is amazing on everything else, y'all. Any kind of dish that you would put with any type of rice or beef dish, poultry, it does not matter. This seasoning is unique. You can get it at your local African store, or if you have like an Asian market in your city where you live, go there. You cannot go wrong. This, oh my God, this is absolutely wonderful. Love it, love it, love it. Parsley. I put parsley in everything. Good old Italian seasoning. Oh yeah. Curry powder. Change the flavor of any dish. Delicious. Thyme. Keep you some thyme in your pantry. Wonderful addition to any meal too. Bay leaves. Gotta have them. For that good old pot of gumbo. Celery salt. You know you use it for your dressing, your chicken and dressing for Easter. Use you some celery salt when you're just making like your chicken breast, or if you're making like a chicken salad or even a tuna salad and you don't put the fresh celery in there. Use a little bit of celery salt. Poultry seasoning. Same thing. It's not only good for Easter and holidays. Poultry season wakes up the flavor of any rice dish, even pasta dishes. Just use a little bit because it is salty. And people will wonder, what is that flavor? Poultry seasoning. Last but not least, good old sage. When I make my breakfast sausages, I like to put a little bit of sage in them. And sometimes I'll take the regular breakfast sausages and sprinkle the sage over it. So it's not just for chicken and dressing too. Sage sausage. Trust me, delicious. Well, you guys, that is my seasonings that I use for my daily go-to. I use in most of my recipes. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to leave you with something from my Praying Your Way to Joy book that my brother bought me. Hopefully this will inspire you today. The power of praise. Trust in the Lord your God, and you will be made strong. Trust in the men who speak for him, and you will do well. Jehoshaphat called those who sang to the Lord, and those who praised him in holy clothing. They went out in front of the army and said, "Give thanks to the Lord, for his loving kindness lasts forever." When they began to sing and praise the Lord set traps against the men. 2 Chronicles chapter 20 verses 20-22. It's one thing to read about trusting in you, Lord. It's quite another thing to actually do the trusting. That's where I sometimes fall short of what and who you want me to be. Help me work on that, Father. Help me to grow stronger and stronger by trusting you. Help me to be the brave person you created me to be, one who goes out to meet the enemies while I'm singing praises to you. It sounds crazy, but I'm trusting you to make this happen and to bring me to victory in the process, just as you did for Jehoshaphat and his people, who in the end returned to Jerusalem with joy, for the Lord had filled them with joy by saving them. The power of praise. So call on the Lord and give thanks to the Lord. And when you begin to sing and praise, the Lord will set traps against the enemy, so don't worry. And by the way, your enemy can be the coronavirus. Your enemy can be an addiction. Your enemy can be unemployment. Your enemy can come in all different forms, sizes, and shapes. So give thanks to the Lord. And when you begin to sing and praise to the Lord will set traps against your enemies. All right, I hope you all are staying sheltered in place. And it is very important, and we must take the shelter in place ordinances seriously. Because right now, they're even saying that the takeout foods or foods when we go to the grocery store, the virus is living on the food and everything, and the virus can live on the food for at least 17 days, even after you've sanitized, if there's a little bit there. This is very serious. This is a disease that is covering everybody. It's not an old person's disease, or it's not a sick person's disease. We have people that are elderly, people in their 50s, their 30s. We have teenagers. We have people in their 20s. We have people that are getting this disease. No one is of non-disregard in this disease. This disease has no name. This disease can get to know anybody personally. So let's take the shelter in place seriously. Let's take the time to think about the positive things of the Lord. And let's just pray with our families daily, or if you're alone, pray to the Lord. Remember, you're not alone. God is there with you too. All right, I hope you are having fun during your shelter in place also. Make it a great day. Think on the positive, and remember, sing and praise to the Lord. All righty, be blessed.